up, everyone? This is your host, Jose Marquez, and I want to welcome you to the Sunday BYOB podcast on YouTube. BYOB means Bring Your Own Bible, and our goal is to make it come alive for you. We invite a wide range of guests to share their stories of triumph, joy, victory, and sorrow, and each episode is designed to talk about real issues with real people about a real God. We hope that you are curious, because if you are, you have tuned into the right place. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been in this chair, but I'm thankful and grateful to be here. And I am here with two of my very best friends. Oh my God, you guys, I've known these girls for so long. I think
since we were in diapers?
Yeah, like elementary school. I mean, I wish I had like the exact date we like locked eyes, but I don't. But it was so cool. Like, we've been friends since elementary school, like second, third grade maybe. Got really close in middle school, and then we've been super kind close. Of
in each other's lives, in and out, and for the most everything.
It's crazy.
We find each other. We find a way back to each other
all the time.
Honestly.
All the time. Like, I don't know if you guys have childhood friends that you're still close with. If you do, like, go call them, give them a text message, go meet with them or something, because they're amazing. Like, you guys have literally been in every part,
every milestone,
yes.
Everything.
Like graduations,
first love, first heartbreak, everything,
marriages, sooner or later babies.
Have we had an argument yet? I feel like we
might have, but I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. They come and go.
It's a big one in a friendship.
It is. But, like, guys, I love these girls so much and their families. Like, when I got married and then, like, when I saw them, I just immediately started crying because I was like,
never forget it.
Oh, my God. I got filled with so much joy because they've been a part of everything that has been good in my life. You guys have been there. And I can't even, like, thank you guys enough for always being there.
Well, thank you for always, your like, heart. Always. That's
and you guys with my family, like, my family loves you guys so much. You don't even know. Anyways.
Please, my parents are obsessed with you.
My parents are so cute. Oh my God, I love them. Anyways, that was like the longest intro I've ever done, but it was merited. So we've been studying the Enneagram. If you guys haven't looked at the videos or haven't watched the videos, I encourage you to go back and check out your type, do the test, check out the video that according to your type. We've been doing this Enneagram series all summer. And we have here today, we have a type 3 and we have a type 5. And if you guys haven't noticed yet, these girls are twins. I'm sorry, an 8.
Girl, I'm an 8.
You know what anyways, I'm not going to say it. But we have a 3 and we have an 8. And if you haven't noticed, these girls are twins, like identical twins.
We are.
And they have two other sisters who are also twins.
Yes.
15 years apart.
15 years apart.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Twins run in our family. My aunts are twins. My mom aunts were twins.
It's crazy. Like, your mom had 2 sets of twins.
Yes.
15 years apart. Like,
yep.
I can't make this stuff up.
Oh, we're all best friends.
They're amazing.
We get along so well.
It's amazing. But yes, we have a type 3 and we have a type 8.
Yes.
And I think it's amazing because they're twins. Usually you think of twins, you think everything is alike. They dress the same, they act the same, but no.
We are completely different.
Completely.
Like, really, really different.
Yeah, I really like being different too.
So I want to start with a little bit of a review, a little synopsis of each type, just so that you guys can get acclimated with the type. Okay. So we're going to start with the type 3, Lizzy.
Great.
And I'm just going to briefly describe the type 3. This is from a book that I've been reading called The Honest Enneagram by Sarah Jane Case. And she has a really practical method. It's called Honest, and it's really good. I encourage you guys to go read the book. And the type 3, it says, they tend to orient in the world with an awareness of where they stand in comparison to other people, and focused, always doing better, achieving more, and being generally enjoyed by others. Type 3s are skilled at engaging with others. They can read body language, take the temperature of a room, and get a general feeling for how they can show up and be both liked and impressive. Type 3s have a very high standard for themselves and what they must accomplish. The focus becomes less on their personal agenda and more on what is viewed as the most successful thing to be based off the culture they are most entrenched in. Lizzy.
Yes.
How does that describe you?
I gotta be honest. When I read that, who wrote this about me?
Oh my God, really?
It's very accurate. It's very accurate. I mean, I'll never forget. You know, a previous manager, an employer. We were trying to make something better, right? And she was like, "This is good, but how can we make it better?" And that resonated with me because I'm like, yes, like I felt like she heard me. So then and this was like when we were growing up. So of course, like, you know, when you're lost, and you just start hearing things that people start telling you, and then it's like, it clicks. Like, I want to be better. I want to stand out. I want to achieve. Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. That was it. So when I read that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like somebody wrote this about me.
That's exactly what I felt too when I first read the Enneagram. I was like, oh man.
Like, it's scary.
It's scary, accurate.
Yeah.
Like, I cried because I was like, oh my God, like somebody knows me like that.
Like, I know we'll get to me, but when I read mine, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally me. Like, I'm like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
I know.
And I was like, when I first read mine, I was like, this is gonna be good because now I can finally be like able to express to someone exactly like what my perspective is, where I'm coming from, like what is it that I see versus what you see. And sometimes they're not the same. Right. And that's where conflict happens when we don't see the same things eye to eye, but there's a reason behind it. Right. I just have a different perception than what you do.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like we lose out on really good relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships or any kind of relationship because of that.
Well, because we don't understand each other, and we want to understand them better.
And sometimes I think, like, why doesn't everybody think the way I do? Like, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't. So, and I'm going to go to the type 8. And the type 8, to be honest, when I first thought about the Enneagram and I thought about the twins, I was like, she's definitely going to be an 8.
Me?
Yeah. Because I feel like this is so spot on, Cindy. It's so funny. You engage life with a confident intensity, strength, and determination to make things happen. Your decisive and assertive leadership style causes you to be a powerful change agent in the world, especially when seeking justice and protection for people who can't advocate for themselves. In relationship with others, you end up sacrificing intimacy so that your vulnerability won't be discovered and used against you. However, denying yourself closeness and giving and receiving forgiveness and experiencing tenderness leaves you incomplete and unable to experience the intimacy and support you were created to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love Cindy's, like, sometimes she gets so, like, demanding, and it's, like, for me, it's attractive. Like, when I get boss Cindy, I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody go get her.
It's intimidating.
It is.
But it's like you admire it.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. So when I read that, I had a few like reactions, right? I started with, that's me. Hell yeah, that's me. Here we go. And then the last part about, you know, sometimes I can, you know, just shy away from what's actually in front of me, or even
being
not
vulnerable,
realize how I may be coming across, and I'm literally hiding my lion, my roar. I'm literally hiding my true feelings behind my roar. I'm like, I can't forget about that though. Like, I don't want, like, what's the word? I'm trying to think. Like, like
your authentic self.
My authentic self. I'm vulnerable. Like, I'm a human.
Yeah,
you know, it's okay to be vulnerable.
But I forget.
Right.
I forget that.
Like,
I'm
you
that,
have to hide behind this this armor.
Yes, and you know, I love my armor. I bedazzled it and everything. You know,
that thing says personalized.
It's all personalized and everything. You know, but just like you were saying before, like, it's so helpful to just read words like that, because then it reminds you, oh, this is how people are seeing you as well. And I forget about that.
Yeah.
I forget because I'm so into myself. You know, I am. And I'm not saying, you know, it's not a bad thing. Like, you know, it's me, myself, and I. But me, myself, and I includes so many other people that make me, that also made me into the person that I am today.
Agreed.
That's really good. And have you seen that? Like, I know, Cindy, you're preparing for this beautiful wedding coming up in November. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm going. If you didn't know, I'm going. And I'm excited.
Of course you are.
Yes, you are.
And I know you've been preparing for this amazing wedding that's going to happen soon.
Yes.
Lizzy, have you been
I'm
able
gonna
to
just look
see?
away. I'm gonna look away.
Have you been able to see this assertive, this bossy, this leadership type role in this
Be honest.
soon to be bride?
100% from the beginning. I can't even say no. Yes, yes. And this is me being a maid of honor, where she's perfect. I know you're perfect, but in trying to be perfect, her 8 comes out. And it can be hard to work with.
And it backfires sometimes.
It backfires. It does. It backfires.
Sometimes. And yeah, we've been there, and with my family and my sisters. I mean, I think we all have kind of strong personalities. We kind of do. So in planning this wedding, of course, I'm very controlling. Nothing can go wrong. Like, that's me. Nothing can go wrong.
Like, there's a bridezilla, and then there's sin. There's sin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like...
But that's why I have my sisters and Liz to also ground me.
Absolutely.
To just remember, like, all right, you're not a robot either.
Right.
You know? Like...
That's so cool to have like a support system like that.
Yes.
That
absolutely.
you can say, okay, this is me, but there's someone to remind you, hey, there's other people involved too.
Yes.
That's
that helped
awesome.
a lot.
It's amazing. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, 100%.
So I wanted to touch a little bit about like childhood, because
Okay.
we've been friends since we were little kids, and sometimes I when I read the Enneagram for a type 1 child, I was like, oh wow, like this was me as a little girl, like Tito.
I know.
What a struggle.
I mean, being kid was a struggle
know.
for everybody. Like,
But a type 3 child, and for me, like when I read some of these things about like type 3 child and type 8 child, it brought me back to when we were in elementary school, and I was
Yeah.
like, I remember like Lizzy being like this, or I remember Cindy being this way, or I remember like things that would happen. I'm like, oh wow, like this is crazy. So a type 3 child, friends are extremely important to them. There is no other
yeah.
like she's such a
Yes.
great friend. Like
Lizzy feeds her friendships.
Yes.
Like, she
when you
caters to them.
cater, you have to me, it's very
Yes.
important.
yes,
It's
and
very
I have
important.
always felt that. Like I remember, like we were never in the same class because they would never put the twins together in one classroom.
Right.
So some years I would have Cindy, and some years I would have Lizzy. But the years that I had Lizzy, it was like there was no one who would champion you, like
Oh,
your
100%.
friendship
Yes.
more than Lizzy. Like she was so loyal and so like encouraging. I was like, oh, she was like your cheerleader without knowing that you were
Yes.
cheerleader.
Right.
All the
And
time.
I grew up, wanting to be there for the people that I cared about the most. And you surround yourself, like I'm very big, like even from when I was younger, like you felt it. You want to surround yourself with people who have the same like energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt that at a very young age. So to keep my friendships going and keeping them strong, I remember to me was always important. So I always made sure that my friends felt what I would feel or what they would make me feel.
Yeah.
I remember
I admire
100%.
so much. Like, I admire you so much because of that.
And that's funny because the type 3 will like take the body temperature of the room.
Yes.
And
that's
I
true.
feel like Lizzy has always done that. Like she's always been the one to like, all right, let's settle this. Let's get
like
a
I
temperature.
imagine little Lizzy in our kindergarten class or first grade, and she probably went,
Exactly. Like a
You.
little scan.
You.
Like a little scan.
Let's go. We're about to go make life
We're about
memories
to be
together.
friends for life.
Guys, and she picked me. Like
she did. I sure did.
friends are extremely important to them. Charismatic, loves praise. School naturally pushes them to succeed. Hardworking, encouraging. Put aside their true identity and shape-shifting into the image their parents, teachers, coaches, and others wanted or admired.
Yes and no, and I'll explain why. It is very important to me. I try to learn from everyone that I meet.
Yeah.
That's very important to me, whether it's an employer, my parents, a friend. And in my head, I grew up and my mom would always tell me, and my dad, no one is like you, always try to be different, always be different. But I grew up with role models. So like I always wanted to be like them. You know what I mean? So I think that was like a little difficult, because like, so then who am I?
Yeah.
I guess I want to say almost like a people pleaser, because I want to make everyone proud of me. And then when I wasn't, or when I felt like I wasn't, it's like, what did I do wrong?
Like when you felt like you failed at something.
Right, exactly. So then, and then all of a sudden I change gears and I'm like, okay, what else I can do? What else can I do? You know, and that's just, yeah.
Was that, do you think, part of being like a twin? Like, I don't know how your parents or like your mom told you, like to try to differentiate yourselves. Like, even though you're twins, you're two different people.
Yeah.
Did that play into a part of like?
I would
your three?
agree, but not with us. It would always be like, how are you different from your older sisters? So
Oh,
not from each
wow.
other per
Okay.
se, but like how are you guys different from them? Your sisters never did this. Your sisters did
Oh,
this.
yes.
Wow.
So that
Oh,
was
yes.
growing up. It's like that's what it was. You know, so then of
Interesting.
course me and Sin always was like, oh yeah, we're better. We're doing
my
this.
God.
We're doing that. They did that. We don't want to do that.
Right,
Like
like they listen to freestyle.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Relax. I love freestyle.
We all do. She was
I
named
love
Yes.
after.
That's great.
She was
After
named after
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
I was.
Come on. As a type 8 child, and this is for you, Cindy, experiencing harm and betrayal caused you to put a thick armor to cover and protect your heart. If you felt strongly about something, you'd voice it directly and not back down. That part, like the not back down, I've never seen Cindy back down from anything that she like. I don't know. I remember in high school, like she would lend us, like Cindy's locker was like everyone's locker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, on top of having the best location, you know, like everybody wanted.
Literally,
her. Yeah.
everybody
I
wanted her
mean,
locker, and I
yeah.
would go there, and it was she
Yeah, that
was
was
just like, she was just standing there, like administering all the books that were in the locker, like. She was not backing down. Like, everyone was going to be included and nobody's going to be left out. Like, this was going to work. Like, she was going to make
I
it
offered
work.
to everyone.
Yeah.
All my friends.
You did.
Like, that whole not back down part, I've never seen Cindy back down from anything.
No, I really haven't. So, yeah, I believe what you just said about me,
Yeah.
even as a little kid, and you know, being an 8, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, although I wasn't the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
because my sisters are older, of course, and of course, like what Liz just said, they kind of always like separated us. But like these are the older ones, the hermanas, right? The older hermanas, and then now you have your twin, you have your sister. I felt older with Liz, of course. I'm 2
right.
minutes older, it counts.
Right, those 2
Oh my
minutes are
God.
important.
They are.
They're
They're
very
important. I'm
important.
okay with being the
They
baby.
count.
I'm
So
okay.
even with that, and here's the thing, like even like up to now, my dad would still be like, "How's your sister?" Like as in asking me like, "Did you take care of her? Did you, you know, how did you make her day better? Or did you two have fun? Did you, you know, always asking about like a whole, you know, both of us together." So yeah, be like acting like the bigger sister, being the bigger sister.
That protector.
I became the protector. And when it comes to me, you know, I do want to protect myself too.
Yeah.
Because there's a part of me too that I can't like that I believe like I can't show how weak I can be.
Oh.
You know? Not in front of my little sister.
Right. Right.
Not in front of my little sister. And then of course not in front of my little sister. Not in front of everybody else. You know, I'm here to show you who I am, type of thing.
Wow, that's so good.
I'm here to show you my bedazzled armor.
Right.
The bling will blind you. Like. And how does that? I'm just curious, but like, how does that work with your relationship with Rich?
So with Rich, Rich and I are very different.
You know that, like,
He's
what I
more
mean, like
laid
that
back,
vulnerability
yeah.
type.
He's more laid back. He, you know, he shows me who he is. We're completely different. So with me, I thank him every day because he taught me a lot about how it is to feel under that armor. Okay, so he taught me, and I'll repeat this 100 times: patience, not
Nice.
just with everyone else, but with myself. With myself, because I always aim to be the best, be the leader, and I love being the leader. I do. Like I do believe that I think in different ways that some people, you know, my subordinates at work don't think. You know, so not only be patient with them, but be patient with myself, and we've learned a really good balance. That's the thing. We've learned a really
That's
good
awesome.
balance. I hear him out. He hears me out. He calls me out.
Oh, hello, Rich.
He's called me
That's
out.
brave.
When he does
To
that,
call
we're
out
very
Cindy.
brave. Is that Rich?
No, yeah.
Like there he is.
Shoot, I don't want to call out Cindy.
There have been times where I'm like, Liz, can you believe what he told me today?
I'd be like,
he
no,
had
he did?
I'm like, Lizzy, he had some nerve today. But you know what? I thank him for that. I do.
Yeah.
I do. really thinking for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have a joke though in the family where like Sin's like all big and bad and stuff, and we're like, she's our little mush. She's a mush.
Oh yeah.
She is. Because
down,
when you
right?
deep down,
Deep down.
because you call her out and then she'll like all of a sudden like, okay,
Retreat.
like she'll 100%. She's a little mush
Yeah,
ball.
I'll fight back a little bit, but then I'm just like, yep, nope, there it is. There it is.
You got through the bedazzled armor.
You got through.
I also want to talk about wings. The wings of each type, they just kind of round out the personality of that main type. So for you, Lizzy, you're a type 3. So your wing would be the number before and after. So it'd be a wing 2 and a wing 4.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry? Oh. So the type 3 wings, the wing 2
Okay.
is more spontaneous, can access your emotions easily, prioritize relationships, charming, great people skills, enjoys the attention. I always thought like she's a wing 2. I mean,
Oh yeah.
she may rely on some wing 4, but heavily on wing 2.
Oh yeah.
Wing 4 is more task-oriented, more focused in terms of your career or creativity, more private, quieter, lets the work speak for itself.
Yes and no. I'm not so quiet, I guess. I'm more definitely spontaneous. Like
Yeah, definitely
I'm
into
very impulsive.
wing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, what's the last impulsive thing you did?
Oh my gosh, the last impulsive thing I did. I mean,
Or at least like one of the biggest impulsive things you did?
I feel
Ask
like
me.
Yeah, like you know what it is that like sometimes I don't know when I'm being impulsive because I'll just be like, yeah, let's do it, or let's do it. Like
Okay, that's just
who
too
I am.
natural.
Where she comes to me and she'll be like, what did you just do? You know what I mean? Like she'll call me and I'm like, well, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like this is why not? Like that's my thing. That was like my mantra like forever. Like why not? You know? So and people person. We just came back from Spain. And I'm meeting all these people at the bar, and she pulls me aside one point, and she's like, when are we going home? She's like, why? Like, how did you end up talking to these people from Germany? And I'm like,
Wow.
why not? Like,
No,
That should be your next tag. Why not?
yeah. Yeah. Like, that was the big thing.
I think that's why, when I think of Lizzy, I think of, like, my little sister. She was on the podcast, too.
Oh yeah.
She's an Enneagram type 4. But
There you go.
but she's
why we get
always
along
like,
so
why
well.
not? Why not? Let's do it.
That's why they get along so well. Yes.
I know.
Yeah, we
like,
do.
the last impulsive thing, I booked a trip to China. I mean, I never got to go because of COVID, but my sister booked, like, she was like, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Me trying to be spontaneous and, like, trying to be.
But you still need that little push,
I
and
know.
that's why we have them.
If not, I would have been, like, stuck under a rock in a armor or something. But, you kind of need that person to be that impulse, that push.
Oh, 100%.
And
she
I-
always thanks me for that.
Yeah,
Always.
she's my impulse. Yeah, totally.
I drag her. I'm like, no, let's go somewhere. Let's do this.
And
then
I always
at the end
end up
of
having a great time.
yeah, at the end of the night, she'll
do.
be like, you know what,
I
Lizzy,
do.
thank you. And I'm like, for what? Like, you know, because it's so natural
being
to
herself.
me. I'm
She's
just being
being herself.
myself. And she explains it to me. And I'm like, well, that's why you have me.
And for a type 8. So for you, Cindy, the wing would be a 7 and a 9. And I think I already know, but we'll see. So a wing 7 is blunt, intense, no shortage of energy, insists that others are direct. And a wing 9 is steady, patient, less overtly aggressive, compassionate. I'm gonna say she's a wing 7.
I want to say she's a 7.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Wing
a 7.
I just
I'm
feel like that
definitely a
whole
7.
part of, like, being direct. Like,
Yes.
I think
I just want you to be honest with
yes,
me.
I think you
like,
crave that. I
Yes.
think you really want that from other people. It's just to be, like, direct, like, say what you want. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What about it? What,
communicate with me. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Like,
Don't sugarcoat it.
Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me
Yeah.
what it is.
It's
I
just
can handle
you like people to be the way that you are as well. Like that. So she
Yes.
expects that.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true.
So now, like me thinking about it, I'm like, wow. Whenever I talk to Cindy, like, I gotta remind myself because I could beat around the bush. I could take you on a journey around
Around the world.
around the world, just to kind of, like, give you the background story.
Oh no.
Not for me.
No,
But now I know.
Please not for me.
I'm just gonna get
Then
to the
would be
point.
like, okay, let's get there.
You know, I'm
right
gonna
through
tell you
it.
like how it happened, why it happened.
Yeah.
Give you the whole spiel. You
Right,
know?
Yeah,
Right.
no. I'll read right through it and I'll be like, So what do you really want to say?
So now I know, like to be more direct with you. I kind of sense that, but it's just refreshing to like have that confirmation, like be direct. And I think that's important, like for any type 8 that's out there that's in a relationship and you want your significant other, you want your mother, your sister, your father, whatever it is, to be more direct with you. Just tell them like, this is why I want you to be more direct, because I need that. So I just think this
100%.
Enneagram is such a great tool for self-awareness. Like these girls know when you encounter someone, at a bar or something, like you know already. You're self-aware of what you like, what you don't like, and it's important to communicate those kind of things
100%.
to like that significant other. Like one of the first and the most common advice I got when I got married was communicate.
Right.
Yes. Oh,
But
yes.
nobody told me how. Like, okay,
Right.
thank you.
It's
but
like they expect you to know. It's like everybody's the same.
yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
like,
Like,
communicate
no,
with your spouse,
no
communicate with your
way.
husband, communicate with your husband. Okay, but how?
Right.
Because the way I communicate is different than the way he does.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And the way I perceive the world is different than the way he does. So, yes, we can communicate, but we're doing more clashing than actually communicating.
Right.
So it's just important. It's a really good self-awareness tool. You guys, take the Enneagram test, please.
Actually, we told our older sister, we were telling her that we're going to be here. And we told her the whole summary, and she's like, send it to me. I want to know.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, Evie, Gina.
They're going to learn. We're going to learn.
Yes,
Yeah,
listen
we're
to the
ready
rest
for
of
your
this.
results.
Listen to the rest of this video and let us know what your results are. I also wanted to get into a little bit of the heart triad and the gut triad. The triads are basically the Enneagram numbers are grouped into different triads. This is how the way we perceive the world and experiences. So for Lizzy, your triad is the heart triad. So the numbers 2, 3, and 4 are in the heart triad. And Cindy, yours is the gut triad. So the 8, 9s, and 1s. I see you.
Look at that.
I see you.
There you go.
So the type 3 is part of the heart triad, and the type 3 has a harder time accessing their emotions, so it does not get in the way of their accomplishments or goals. And the type A is part of the gut triad. Type 8 sees an injustice. They respond fast in an intense manner. They step in and they protect.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember you were telling me a situation that Rich, your husband, was having with his family, and how you felt like you had to step in there and like intercede, and you had to like protect. Like for me, that your initial reaction was so part of your gut triad.
100% it was. And in so many situations too, I do. Like I kind of feel like it's my job sometimes. I do. And I'm like, I literally like, I give like a second or two. I scan the room and nobody else is going to do it. It's me. This is it. This is me. Sometimes I don't even wait. I don't even give it a second or millisecond or anything. I'm just like, I just go ahead and do it. But just because I start thinking, I can't rely on anybody else to stand up for someone, my loved ones. And I do, like, even like with some other close friends that we had when I was younger, I stood up to someone that hurt them. I did. Like, no one's gonna hurt my friends or my family.
Oh, yeah.
Was there something like in your childhood that caused you to make you feel like, okay, I gotta be the one to step in. Like I gotta be the one to protect. I have to be like, nobody's gonna have this injustice. My family.
You know what? I think when we grew up, we just saw a lot of happening with our sisters, and of course in families, anything happens in a family. Anything happens like with a family, like, there's laughter, there's tears, there's yelling and stuff like that. And even with extended family, like I would see, although we're all super close, like sometimes, people take advantage of things, and I remember seeing something like that and I'm like, nobody's gonna do that to me.
Oh.
Like nobody's gonna do that to me. And
like nobody puts baby in a corner.
Right.
yeah, nobody
Right.
puts baby in a corner. Exactly. Like that's what I remember when I was little.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
I'm
really
lucky.
good.
I consider myself lucky.
Right? You have
100%.
this like
I got you.
big sister protector.
Yeah.
Can I be your sister?
I got you too.
I know you do. I know you do. I also wanted to go over a little bit about stress and growth directions or lines and arrows. So for a type 3, and that's you, Lizzy,
Okay.
when moments of stress, you move towards an unhealthy type 9. You lose motivation, become disengaging, kind of numb out. And when you're growing, you move towards a healthy type 6. And this is why, even today, I texted her. I was like, are you really sure you're a 3? Because for me, like, the first thing that comes out when I think about Lizzy is loyalty. Like, you
Yeah.
are the most
Oh,
loyal
yeah.
person I have ever met. Like, 100%. So when I started reading the growth direction and you move towards a healthy type 6, I was like,
That's
that's
where it is.
where
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Lizzy is living
That's
right
where I
now
am,
in that
yeah.
healthy state.
Mm-hmm.
And it says focusing less on yourself and more on the well-being of others. Loyal, committed, and cooperative. You become more aware of your feelings, not hiding behind a mask.
Yes. You just mentioned something about before the 6. What did you just mention on there?
The stress moves towards an unhealthy 9, losing
Yes.
motivation, becoming disengaging, numbing out.
So
Oh, yes.
I don't know if that's me personally. I don't think that's 100% true for me.
Ooh, I disagree.
You disagree. So
Nice.
so it's like I may not realize that, you know, because I'm living in it. I'm doing that
Right,
myself.
right, right.
Makes sense.
But it's like I almost like push myself harder, you know, to do that. If you disagree, like how do you disagree?
So, I've seen you in stages of your life
Okay.
when you go through something completely heartbreaking, and I see it. I don't see it very often because you're so good. You're always put together. You know, really good. But when it does come to stress, and even at work sometimes. I've seen and I've witnessed where you don't have the confidence to actually finish something. You, with when it has to do with like with a heartbreak, you know, regarding love, you do shut down. You have shut down.
Yeah.
You give
I guess you're
yourself
right.
4 hours though.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a minimal shutdown.
That's
It's
why
like
I
a
feel like I'm
minimal
like I
one.
don't let it like get
No,
me
but you
down. But you're
do.
right. Like I
You
give myself a
do.
day. You know, like
do.
I did. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, like I think of a day, and I
Right.
literally gave myself from like 8 a.m.
You're right now 4 hours. It
to
was like 8
9
hours.
p.m. Right, like all day. But the next day, I got up, I continued, and I did my own thing. You're right, but I do allow myself to shut down. Yeah,
But
I
even
mean,
that shows some kind of like maturity. So say, okay, I know what I'm going through. I'm going to give myself a deadline because I can't
right.
fester
Right.
in this type of
Gotta
like
keep going.
disengagement for the rest of my life. Like we got to
Right.
keep moving on. So I think that's super important. That's such a great tip. Look
I
at
was
you.
just-
I'm here
Look
to
at
remind
that.
you.
Yeah, you see, like I would have never came up with that. And I'm like, no, I'm great. I don't need that.
No,
I don't cry.
That's not me. Shoot. All right. And for a stress and growth for a type 8. So that's you, Cindy. And in moments of stress, you move towards an unhealthy type 5. That's why I was getting the type 5 earlier. Because I was thinking about that.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking
okay,
about
okay,
like
got it.
stress and growth. Anyways, that's my little side note. So you move towards an unhealthy type 5, withdrawn, more secretive, detached from emotions. And in moments of growth, you move towards a healthy type 2. You're more open-hearted, empathetic, caring, compassionate. You reveal your vulnerable side.
Oof.
And I feel like I've been blessed, guys. I've seen more of the growth areas in both of these girls than
In each other, I think.
than
we've
in
definitely seen
stress.
that.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, yes, everybody goes through life and goes
Of
through
course.
trials and goes through moments where they feel stressed, but I've been lucky enough to like have been in more areas of growth than in stress with you guys. And I know like in an area of growth you were very vulnerable with me one time when you were talking to me about, you know, some issues you were having previously, some medical issues, and I'm not getting into detail, but that was a super vulnerable moment. I think that's the most vulnerable I have ever seen you And I saw like
that's the most
think
vulnerable I've
for
ever seen myself.
like I saw
family,
like
like
no
everything.
armor.
Yeah.
Like there was no
Right.
bedazzling, there was no armor, there was no
Right.
nothing. I was like, oh wow, like I fell in love with you even more.
Mhm.
Like I was like, oh Cindy, that's homie
There
for
she
life.
is.
I do gotta say, yeah, when I feel like I do lean more towards like on instinct. I do where I do like I end up not caring.
Oh,
I
yeah.
end up
Detached.
not caring. Yeah,
Detached,
I end
yeah.
up not caring what I look like, what I feel. You're gonna hear what I'm gonna say. You know, it may sound like a little bad, but like I don't care what you end up feeling after what I say.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
but as I continue to grow and I continue to not only learn about myself, learn about my sister, learn about my friends, and now my husband, the more I learn about that, I have become a lot more empathetic. 100%. And I do have to say, we all go through like life changes.
Yeah.
Right.
100, very different levels, here and there. Yes, I went through an a huge life-changing moment where it affected my life 100%. And I'm thankful for going through something like that, because I did end up learning how to slow down, how to actually read people's faces, how to actually be empathetic, listen.
Yeah.
Like listen to what is going on around me. What are people saying about me? And
Well, there
actually
was
pay
times
attention.
where we'd be like, let's say we would argue, right? The sisters would argue, and one of my sisters would turn around. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And Sin's sitting there straight faced, like
I can like just
that's how she was. That's how she was, and she still has it. She still has it, but every now and then she'll be like, "Give me a second," and then she'll come back and she'll be like, "All right, let's do this again."
Yeah.
So that's growth in her part.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anything,
100%.
but
To be able to stop, give yourself that moment to like actually go through it, feel it, the conversation, and then get back into it.
yes.
That's amazing. You guys, look at all these tips.
Hmm.
Look at you. And there's this really good book that I've been recommending this book the entire Enneagram series. It's called Becoming Us by Jeff and Beth McCord. And if you're in a relationship with a significant other, I definitely recommend this book. Cindy, I definitely recommend this book for your new marriage coming up, because it is so good. It gives you like an idea of how to connect with your spouse, how to see your spouse in with their type. Like, it's just really, really good. It has helped me so much, and I've been able to like really see a different side of myself, a side of my husband. Like, it's a really, really good. It's called Becoming Us by Jeff and Beth McCord. They're a couple. And some of the conflict activators, there's a section where they talk about the conflict activators, and I just thought it was really kind of cool, because we all have those things that kind of trigger us. Like if my husband says, "You lying," and I know I'm not lying.
You say that to her?
But he'll be saying it like he'll be saying it. Sometimes I think he's like just kidding around, and I can't differentiate whether he's kidding or like he's real.
How are you gonna take it?
But if he says like, "Oh, you lying," and I know I'm not lying, like it burns so bad.
You gotta stretch a little when you say that.
Like it's just like I don't know. I go into like I feel like I have like Bruce Banner just chilling, like the Hulk or something. Anyways, so some type 3 conflict activators, and you let me know if this is something you agree, disagree.
Okay.
Being blamed for someone else's bad performance, not looking good, not being validated, affirmed for your accomplishments.
Yes. Last part, I would say no.
Validation.
No, I'm really big on, how people like to be recognized, right? I always do that. So like, I don't need verbal recognition. I prefer like acts of service, right? Like acts of service.
Okay.
Or like, I don't need you to tell me that I did a good job, when it comes to making me look bad on something that I did or didn't do, that's something that's very important to me, because I don't have any control over it.
Yeah.
So then the last thing I want is for someone to have an impression of myself that's not true.
Oh.
It's huge. That's huge for
that's
me.
Big.
Yeah, 100%. And
Especially because you wear your heart on your sleeve.
oh, 100%.
And
Yeah.
you're I mean, I feel like you always show yourself
Yes.
to people.
And I feel like my work speaks for for itself. And so it's really hard for me to accept when people do something out of my control that has to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because then if you look bad because of that.
Oh, yeah. I almost want you to understand how you did me wrong.
Oh.
In nice ways. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that's me.
Awesome. And a type 8 conflict activator. Seeing others refuse to deal directly with issues. Seeing others not take responsibility for their own behavior and actions, and being betrayed.
Yes. 100% yes. Should I, babe, are you listening?
Rich.
She called you out, Rich.
This for you.
No. No, but all jokes aside, yes, 100%. Once you lose my trust, it's very hard to gain it back.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I start with trusting people. I do.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I wouldn't be talking to you because if I didn't trust you, you know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put myself in that position. So if you are in my path, then, you know, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you 100% of the way. What was that first one?
Seeing others refuse to deal directly with issues.
That ties in together with just be direct with me, like from the beginning. And, you know, I'm not going to apologize for calling my husband out because this is how it is with a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through it. We sometimes like hide what we're feeling or what we want to say because we don't want that argument to get bigger, or we don't want for it to take a different direction where we don't end up speaking to each other. No, like there's no silent treatment thing here. I've tried it. It does not work at all. So yes, that does trigger me. Like, yeah, just let's face the issue now. Like, let's talk about it. And then we'll get past it and then grow together.
Have you had to like forgive someone for a betrayal recently, or do you remember a moment where you had to really forgive someone after a betrayal?
You know what? For me, I don't know if I gotta think about it for me, but I feel betrayed when others betray my friends and family.
Oh.
So yes, in turn, they betray me. They do. Recently, I did go through something, and I am a person. Ooh, I may contradict myself. Although I like to talk about the issue and I want to just get it all out there, because, you know, someone betrayed someone really close to me. I don't even want to see you. I don't even want to be there.
Yeah.
Same room.
I think that feeling of betrayal is greater than wanting to be direct.
I know. But then here's the thing, like, what does that say about me then? Like, I want to grow too. So in order for me to continue growing, I'm going to have to forgive them. I want to forgive them. I will one day when I'm ready.
That's good.
I will when I'm ready. Just right
just
now.
Not now.
Just not right now. You know, it's still kind of fresh.
Still hurts.
It still hurts. It does. It does. And it's not a good feeling.
That's good.
But I will get past it.
You
We will all get past it. I know there's a couple of you out there that's like me too. So
you know who you are.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
You're not alone.
Well, if you guys enjoyed this video with a type 3 and a type 8, just share this video, subscribe to this channel, follow us on Instagram at Sunday BYOB Podcast. If you guys want to hear more content, if you have another type that you want to hear, just let us know. Put a comment in one of our sections. We'll put in the description, we'll put in the name of the books that we mentioned here. We'll put in the link to the test. Take the test. Let us know what type you are so we can have this conversation. We can keep this conversation going. And like it, share it.
Please
Yes,
do.
It was a pleasure having you guys here.
Thank you so much for having us.
This is
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, and I get to spend time with you. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I love them.
There's me catering my friendships.
I love you guys.
I love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Take care, you guys.
Bye, everyone.